Welcome to Print is Back, the creative print-related podcast. I'm Jacques Michiels.
And I'm Andreas Weber.
We are your hosts. Welcome. Hello and welcome to a new and fresh episode of the Print is Back podcast. And we have a special occasion because as of today, we are also on video, and also on audio, as you are used to on our regular platforms. And welcome to my partner in crime, Andreas Weber. And we have a special guest, so maybe I hand over to you, Andreas, and people can see for those who are watching us. But who is our mystery guest of today?
Yeah, so I'm very happy to welcome Thomas Fichtl. Hello, Thomas. And when you celebrated 175 years of the history of Heidelberg, your and our history is also more than 25 years, if I remember, right?
Yeah, that's true. Time is really running. So I started my career at Heidelberg 1999, short after we went to the stock exchange. And Heidelberg was looking after this point for PR experts to increase the PR activities on a local side as well as on a worldwide basis. So no, I'm still over 25 years with Heidelberg, and I really enjoyed it, the time. It was a very interesting time, and it was more or less a huge journey for us, for the company and for the industry. And what I really like is that I have so long with people like you, Andreas, and a lot of other journalists and advisors of the industry, which I met first time 25 years ago, and they're still there. And this is very much fun to work with people with such a long relation and good relation. So thank you for inviting me to this discussion today.
So yes, I was just going to mention it. You're the global head of corporate public relations, as you said, for a long time now. So Andreas, I think he's the perfect man because he spans all of that history that Heidelberg now with 175 years. Of course, Thomas hasn't been there for 175, but for the last decades he has been. So he's the perfect man, basically, to ask about the changes, about he sees where the industry is heading and where it came from, where it's heading. So Andreas, I would say shoot.
Yeah. So what is just coming up into my mind is that when we think back 25 years ago, so we got this milestone Drupa 2000 was the most successful Drupa, and it was your first one, Thomas. And at that time, Heidelberg tried to become a solution provider. And I have the feeling after all those years now, Heidelberg has itself reinvented again and has also the target to become a solution provider again, because in the meantime, it was quite difficult for all of us to think about how is the position for Heidelberg. But I think actually now it's something like back to the roots. Is that right?
I would say it was a long journey, 25 years, and now it comes really to the right end. When I started at Drupa, this was really the Millennium Show, and we will never see this again, I would say, from the size and from the market size, customer size, as well as visitors in Düsseldorf. This was overwhelming for me, really a great start into this industry, because I came from the IT and telecommunication business, which was totally different. Also, the approach to customers were more B2C business, and now to see these huge machines, these huge halls filled up with people, and they are happy to see the latest technology, mechanical engineering, as well as software engineering things. So this was really overwhelming, and I think the best start for people like me to enter a new business, into a new industry. And of course, you are right. Our story in the past and these days were to come to the stock exchange, which I already mentioned, was to be more than just the machinery producer. Yeah, so we opened up our solutions. We acquired companies, and we started then in 2000 with a solution provider, with the goal really to attract the customers with the whole value chain. Yeah, not saying that you need more speed and better machines and higher quality. You need to look for the whole value chain, your whole process chain in your company to improve your business, to be competitive in the market. And if I look now to our industry, that especially now also our new board team members claim very clear that we are end-to-end provider for the solutions of our customers, or for the applications and process of our customers. A lot of development steps to enhance these process and system knowledge for our customers. But now you're right, Andreas, if I look to what we can show now in our new home of print, which we inaugurated this year for our customers, we show them really end-to-end solutions from the data until the finished product, for commercial printing as well as for packaging printing, with different technologies, with different software applications, with AI support, more and more AI support in the future, fully connected with our back-end cloud for the best and valuable service offerings over the air. So this was the beginning in 2000, and now 25 years later, you see it big step forward to achieve this goal to really provide total full solutions for our customers. And I think this is a big step forward, because if you also look to development of the market, in 25 years or 50 years ago, it was very much handcrafted, yeah, and now it's more and more industrialized, yeah. So we had huge consolidation, of course, in the market all over the world, providing their service to their brand customers, end users, end customers, brand owners, with the same quality, with the same speed, with the same quantity they expect all over the world. And this is then a global business more and more. And therefore you need also end-to-end solutions, not locally, also on the worldwide. So customers expect then the same level of service, the same level of quality all over the world. Yeah. We have specialists, of course, but on the other hand, you have these big industrialized customers, also like online printers, which came up then during this time, which new business models, which prints bring in a totally different market. And I think this is really an interesting development over the past 25 years, which I could also then join and was very happy to do that.
It's a little bit an overview over the last 25 years, where Heidelberg is kind of repositioning itself, and now with the new home of print, with the 175 anniversary activities and everything around it. Yeah, I wanted to ask you, it was on my little short list of questions for you, as obviously, yeah, the printing industry is under a lot of stress. You also said it, not only from the, let's say, the producer side, but also of the manufacturer side or the machine vendor side. So over the last, let's say, 10, 12 years, packaging and so forth has taken a lot more of the market in terms of revenue and so forth. Heidelberg, in my opinion, has always been very, very strong in commercial printing as well, of course, also in packaging. But there is undeniably a big shift that has taken place over the last couple of years. How is Heidelberg, basically, how do you see that your company is taking on that shift, also going more and more in those, like you say, total solutions. How is Heidelberg going forward in the future? We have had 25 years look back, and how are you guys dealing with that?
Yeah, that is a very good question, and this fits perfect to our strategy, which we are working on the last years, where you can really see a tremendous shift in this way, because we have defined a strategy for our core business, which says that growth driver in general is packaging, because all over the world, also the print production volume is increasing in all areas. So there's a huge demand also in the future, because this belongs also to the mega trends. Population is rising, paperization is rising, and there also the brands all over the world are looking for recyclable packaging technologies for the future. And so in our core business, packaging is really the clear driver, and I can also give you some examples later. And in the commercial side, of course, we see that there are some challenges, but we see there the future really in a hybrid environment, where we say you have to combine offset and digital, and this is what more and more customers do. And this is where we try to help them to find the right solutions. We are there also technology open. Andreas Weber, if you remember, in the Drupa 2000 was my first Drupa. There was more a battle between the technologies, which will be the future. But 25 years later, you have to admit that there is a world for both technologies. Of course, the print production volume in commercial printing based on digital technologies is increasing, but the value of commercial printing, the main value is still in offset. And what was also changed the last 25 years for Heidelberg, that we are developing heavily from a more technical and engineer-driven company to a customer-focused company. I know everybody is blaming this, but I think we can really prove it, that we listen to our customers and say, what is the future environment you can survive and be competitive. And as I said, especially the commercial printer, they have a variety of technologies, and they need an integrated workflow which supports all these technologies to be the best and competitive producer of print. And this is our clear strategy, where we have partnerships with Ricoh, with Canon, now announced at last Drupa, to combine the digital technology with offset with an AI-driven workflow, which really helps the customers to find always the best way for their jobs and for their customer demands. And even if you look to our balance sheet in the core business, we do over 50% of our revenue already with packaging solutions. There we are also expanded our offering. We have a partnership with Masterworks, which has also the 10th anniversary this year, a successful partnership for post-press packaging solutions. They are even also more integrated into our workflow. And on the high-end area, we announced 2 years ago a really new technology, Flexo-based, our Boardmaster, which is really outranging everything with the productivity hype in this market, and the demand is very high. These are for the high-end packaging, like pizza cartons or all the milk cartons, everything what you produce in hundreds and millions a day all over the world. So there's a huge demand for competitive, recyclable packaging solutions, and so we have there now a whole bunch of products which we can offer. So, and this is what we're driving forward. So we also said that we are not, and this is also a shift. Andreas Weber, you know Heidelberg and me a long time. In the past, we have to do everything by our own, and now we say, what are the best solutions for our customer? Can we offer it by ourselves, or can we do it with partner even faster and cheaper for our customers? Yeah, so we are also looking in the future for more and more partnerships to fulfill the requirements of the customers for these new applications they are looking for.
And I think it's really the right approach, and I'm happy about that. But you mentioned that little word integration, and I think that is a key aspect which happened between 2012 and 2016. So both Drupas, that Heidelberg did a very unique job to become a open system integrator as well. And I think you can't be an end-to-end solution provider without having that approach to integrate also a third-party equipment, and so it's beyond workflow management. It's the whole production process which has to be integrated. And maybe you can share a little bit some insights how that happened at that time, and then what was the benefit from your point of view.
Yeah, Drupa 2016 was really interesting in this aspect, because usually the Drupas are a big product battle and machinery increase, numbers, crunchers battle. And in 2016, especially in our core business in the offset area, we didn't announce a new machine or something. We announced a new concept, and this was these push to stop philosophy.
Yeah.
And this means, and therefore, and to achieve a push to stop concept, you need the fully integration. First, you need the link to each machine you have in your print shop, pre-press, press, and post-press. These have to link, they have to be integrated. You have a seamless data flow from machine to machine. And then you are able to achieve an autonomous production, because then you can do it digitally, the most work, and you just have to interrupt the workflow if there's a failure or something you have to do by your own. But I know that even journalists were a little bit surprised, but they start understanding these concepts then from 2016, because we explained it very often. We went to customers who installed these concepts. It's not a product at the first time, and now, almost 10 years later, this is really then the basis to integrate a lot of systems technologies into the whole value chain for our customers. And this was also a mindset change within the company, because in the past it was always, we have to be faster, 15,000, 18,000, 21,000 sheets. But the customers came to us, if I have a very fast printing machine, then my post-press business is not integrated, then I have a huge waiting time in between. So the whole process is not faster. Yeah, so I have a paper jam then between, or final production jam, and I have then to continue with the post-press later, and then there's also always I'm losing time. So even internally, it was a mindset shift to say we have to think more in these processes, how we can improve the whole process chain of the industry rather than product by product. We have then also changed the organization in this direction with people who think more in the whole solution for because they are different, the whole solution for packaging compared to commercial printing. So, and they said, what is the best fit environment for a commercial printer, and what is the best fit for a packaging printer, rather than to say I need a faster machine at the end, then I show for which customer it fits. So
it's
this is
different verticals then already. You put it like different verticals within your organization?
Vertical thinking, vertical strategy. And I think this was absolutely mandatory, because this was also the feedback, as I said, from our customers. It's not always speed and feed, it's really the integration. We even offered, Andreas, you know this, good pay-per-use models at the end, where the customer doesn't pay for separate machines, he pay just for the output of the machines. And how you can measure the output of a customer of the whole value chain if you don't have the overview of the whole value chain digitally. Yeah, so all machines are linked to the data hub, and out of this data hub, then I see if the customer can improve this process on a certain areas, and then this decreases then the cost per page at the end, which is important for the printer. Cost per page, for which he can sell the sheet in the future. And if we can help him to improve these numbers with improving the whole value chain, then he gets better result, and then he has more profit or more revenue at the end of his business. Yeah.
I have one more question, Thomas, if I may. I can see absolutely what you say and the overview. You have now that backbone structure on which you can end all those, let's say, future developments, because basically the basis is solid, right? And then you can actually end everything on that and serve the customer need. The one question I still have is if you have to fast forward to 2030, it's not so long from now, it's 5 years only. What would success look for Heidelberg at that point? And what do you think is the one risk that could potentially derail that vision that Heidelberg has for now, for 5 years, 5 years time? What is your goal at Heidelberg?
I think if I look at today, Heidelberg is in a quite solid position. So we are economically stable and strategically clearly aligned. So I think this is what we can do. Of course, you have in the world a lot of uncertainties how it will develop in short time or in midterm. But these mega trends I mentioned, like population is rising, green printing demand is rising, using less resources in the future is rising. So they are still coming. They are still there. So the pressure for us and for our customers is always to fulfill these mega trends, and therefore they need to invest in innovations. I think this is always what Heidelberg keeps us up front in of the industry, is even the times where certain or uncertain, we still kept our investment budgets very high, really to be on the edge of the innovation cycle, that the customers also need to invest again if they see what we can offer them and how we can help them to improve, to be competitive. Of course, you have geological issues. Heidelberg has a quite good standing in the Far East with our also very successful production site in Shanghai, which has 20 years anniversary this year. So this is a big year for celebrating. And this is also a real success story, because 20 years ago we asked us how we can offer more and develop more in such emerging countries, which doesn't need high-end solutions at the beginning. And with our offering out of China, we have really a big stake and made a big step forward in Asia, China especially, and also in Asia to fulfill there the customer needs. And now we have a solid position with half of the systems are coming here from Germany for rest of the world, and the other half is coming from Asia. So we try to balance also the risk. The risk, of course, if you see what some politicians do now with tariffs, yeah, you can never see it in advance what's coming up. This also hurts our customers who export printing goods from countries to other countries. If now the tariffs are increasing for exports to the United States. So, but what we have learned over the 25 years, and Andreas has seen this very close, working with Heidelberg or watching Heidelberg, is that we are able to change. Sometimes it's painful. Also, we had to consolidate in some areas, but nevertheless, Heidelberg has always the strength to find a way forward. Now, I guess with the product setup we have now is we are on the right path for the future challenges also of our customers. We are known and reliable. This is also we have a high loyalty of internally with the people working for Heidelberg with which huge skills and competencies, as well as for our customer side. A big asset in these times is really our sales and service network, which is sometimes a little bit hidden by technology hypes and so on, but especially for these industrial customers is solid and reliable service offering key. So they are producing 24/7, and they need a seamless service level. And we see even just this week we announced that other industries are watching it because this is more and more an USP in the world to have. So we are in over 170 countries with our service or service partners. So we have access to the market and to our customers. And I think in such a business we are, is this more and more important. And so I think that with this setup, we have the right solution approach, the right technologies, and the right sales and service setup for us, our customers in this fast-changing world. We have a quite good position for the future, which is of course in some areas always uncertain.
Yeah, I think you are referring to the partnership that recently was signed because you had strong logistics and service all over the world. So I guess that's also something that you guys are leveraging on and trying to open up, let's say, other revenue streams, which everybody is looking for, which is absolutely necessary in any company to develop your strong positions, I would say. Just one more thing on the thing that you said, because obviously for the near future, there are always risks and opportunities, of course. Yeah, as of from Q1, I know your latest numbers you put out were from August, but in Q1, you still had, it was a better number, but you still had like negative cash flow still on the balance. But as you as a company were also explaining, you're going into different markets, new markets, expanding everywhere. So just to get that answer from you anyway, like in 5 years' times, what do you think is the main challenge for Heidelberg? Is it geopolitics? Is it the tariffs? Or is it something else you think to address that, let's say, that negative cash flow? Because if you have negative or less good position in there, R&D can be impacted as well, I guess.
Yeah, so these if I go to your cash flow question, this is in the first quarter almost a little bit weak. in general, we had the last 3 years. If you look to the whole total year, we have a positive cash flow, which is absolute mandatory to survive in these uncertain areas. Based on the strategy for the next 5 years, so we had shown a midterm goal that we see growth potential for Heidelberg. Nevertheless, there are uncertainties of 300 million euro. And we see this in these areas which I described. So clear growth in packaging with our end-to-end approach, as well as with new technologies or new offerings like the Boardmaster. Then in the inkjet field for commercial printing, we are a new player. So we see in these hybrid solution offering for the commercial area, especially with digital printing and with the recurrent revenue behind this, with consumables and service an increase. And thirdly, from out of the core business, we want to leverage more our sales and service network, as I also said in one example, because this is really a big benefit we have for the core business as well as for other industries. And then we have a third small leg we are approaching now is this. It's called our technology segment. But this is also very much focused or based on our core competencies out of the core business. We say that with 80% of our competencies, like mechanical engineering, software engineering, electronics, we are producing for our machines, as well as the whole remote monitoring cloud system integration business. We can also go in totally new areas. One was the electromobility. It's a small part still, but growing, and we believe on this market that it's coming up. And we also now looking for other opportunities to use our competencies. And in all this together, we are very optimistic that we can grow in the future. Even for this fiscal year, we had announced a small growth in revenue as well as in profit, and this should be then also the path for the future. And strategically, we are also looking for, as I said, opportunities which help us to achieve these goals. So everybody can expect exciting news also in the future from Heidelberg, how we develop further and drive further these growth paths. Yeah.
I'm very happy to hear this, Thomas, because I see behind you Heidelberg, the home of print. It was, it is, and will still be the home of print, like you say. And I'm looking forward to what is coming on the horizon. So I'm excited also together with you to see where Heidelberg is taking this. And the one thing that we can say, Andreas, I think Heidelberg is taking up the challenge and looking for solutions to address other, let's say, income streams, so that the developments and the innovations of Heidelberg within the printing industry can remain strong. So, Andreas, my questions for now have been answered by Thomas. Maybe you have some last thought.
I have something. It sounds funny, but it isn't, because all three of us are more or less industry veterans. But we also have to think about the younger people. And so my final question for you, Thomas, would be: what could you recommend? What would you wish to young people to step into this modern, amazing world of print we now have?
Yeah, this is a good question, because we just will start on September 1st with 100 new young people within Heidelberg who starts their apprenticeship and study for us. And there we have also always every year the question how we can attract young people to enter this business. But we are heavily working on position the industry as really a modern industry. we have the structural change. If I look to my time, the last 5 years, almost behind us. If I compare this with other industries, automotive or so, they start now with the transformation. Our transformation started about the millennium change with .com and everything. And I think the industry is much more better prepared for the future challenges than other industries. Our products are totally digitized. The whole process chain is digitized. This is really a modern working environment for everybody on the customer side as well as on the vendor side. And I see that there's a huge future or big opportunities for people in this industry, even for young people. We need young people with open thinking, with using new technologies, AI, automation, robotics skills. So the industry is really open for new ideas and therefore, of course, we need young people. And especially in Germany, as you know, companies like Heidelberg, they have a huge bulk of long-standing elder employees. So I think the next 5 or 10 years there is a huge need for growing talents in this area, which will have, of course, a good future.
Yeah, well, that's another challenge for Heidelberg, but also for a lot of your competitors and other industries for that matter as well. So I thank you, Andreas, for bringing this up, because you're absolutely right. Something that we at Print is Back podcast try to advocate for as well. And you're absolutely right. I think that the near future is also very attractive for the younger generations. The only thing, and we are trying, Andreas and I, to contribute to that as well, is to have it known to that younger generation and other generations, to spread the word that basically the graphical industry, the printing industry, is actually a really high-tech industry that is on the top of its game. But people have to know about it. And I guess also, Thomas, that's why you're in public relations. Also, your job is to try and spread that good word. Well, on that note, Thomas, I would like to thank you for your time, for being with us, for sharing some of the strategic insights within Heidelberg on the 175th anniversary that you guys had, and of your future ideas and what is coming. So for now, gentlemen, thank you for being on Print is Back podcast. Thomas,
thank you also.
I hope to see you in the future. Andreas,
definitely.
Well, until we meet again. And thank you and goodbye for now.
We keep in touch. Bye-bye, gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Nice talk. Bye-bye.
Cheers.